up, guys? Holding Ass with here, bringing you the Promised Neverland anime review. This was episode 9. Episode title was 031145. This was a great episode. It continues where it left off last episode with Emma waking up from that broken leg that she got from Mama, and Norman's there in front of her, kind of trying to comfort her, and she's trying to like say, "Who cares about me? You're about to get shipped off." And he's like, "I know you must be thirsty from sleeping so long. Let me get you some water." And she's trying to call him back into the room so they can speak, but he leaves. And when he goes to get the water for her, as you see in my thumbnail, he actually has a breakdown, and he starts to cry because he realized that death is behind him. Like, he has, I think, a day or two left until he gets shipped off. So, and it just really, like, everyone just getting, like, irked by it and stuff like that. But, excuse me. And when he goes back to the room, he goes back with, like, a determined face. From just breaking down crying, I guess he gets the idea of what to do. And he got the determined face, and he goes in. And before he gets to say anything, you have Ray and, of course, Emma on the bed there. And they wanted him to run away. And he was like, no, because then if I run away, security might get stronger. Or the wall might get more, bigger. And then that'd be harder for all of y'all to escape. I'd rather have all of y'all escape and me giving up my life. That's the only thing I'm going to give them. But I'm not going to give them y'all because you're my family. We had that emotional moment between them. And he shut down Ray's plan for him to, escape first before them. And Ray was upset with this. And then Elma comes out with... I love Elma's character. Out of all the anime female characters, especially Promised Neverland, because technically it's really rare for us to get an anime that the main character is the female leading role. And even though we have Elma, Ray, and Norman as the 3 leading roles, the main character is technically Elma, because she's the one who gets more screen time usually, and the more dialogue, and we see more of her perspective on things. And it's nice to have a female main protagonist, especially a kid, and because it's funny seeing it from, not funny, but it's nice to see that perspective, because most animes, especially animes like Shonen Jump, all the main characters are boys. So, and usually you have the female character there just as like a backup, or not a backup, but like just a support to put the guy in his main place. But here it's kind of like the opposite. You have Ray and Norman being the backup for Elma, and she basically like, wait, let's break your leg. And he's like, what? And Ray was like, oh yeah, if we're broken, since we're goods and we're food, they can't ship the files broken. So yeah, I'll break my arm, we can break his leg. And Elma and Ray are going back and forth, and he's like lost. He's like, wait, what, guys, shut up. You're not breaking anything. And then he breaks down again in front of them saying, thank you, and I'm not going to leave y'all. So they talk about a plan to do. And as they talking about that, later on in the episode, that evening, I guess you can say, Mother Isabel tells everybody that Ray's going to get, not Ray, that Norman is going to get adopted. And everyone is kind of happy for him, but they're crying because they don't want to see their brother go. But you have Don, Gayla, Ray, and Elma in the back, and they know what's really going on. So they get upset when this is announced. But all the other little kids don't know about it, so they just feel sad that their brother's gonna... They're happy for him because he's gonna get a family. But it's sad that they won't see him no more. Even though they don't know the truth. That it's actually more horrible than it is good. And then again, we have Phil coming out with like a sad face, and he's like, oh, so this is goodbye? But the way he just said it with his face was like sarcastic. Like, oh, he's dead or something, or he's gonna leave, or is he really gonna leave? And I've been saying this every episode, but you gotta keep your eye on Phil, because even in the manga, it's like there's this special place for Phil. Is like every episode and every chapter that he's in it, they're gonna take a screenshot and give him like his one little second of time. And it usually leads up to something important. There's actually a lot of people who think that, he's like a traitor or something, but it hasn't really been established if he is. It's just kind of weird because he's always getting these moments, right? And he's always coming in at the nick of time. But as that happened, we also get a conversation between Elma and Ray that I forgot to mention. That Norman asked Ray again. I asked you before, but I want to ask you again. How do you know about all this? It's usually impossible for a kid to find out all this. So how do you know? And that's actually a very important question that a lot of people haven't thought of. Why is Ray the smartest person there? How does he know about this? Like, how does he know about the tracker? How did he get to know about make this deal and stuff like that? And he explained something. Now, I haven't Googled this up or any other type of research, but correct me if I'm wrong, but basically how I understood this was that babies have amnesia and they forget things very quickly when they're babies until they get to like an older age. Then their minds start to progress and remember things. But in rare occasions, the opposite happen, and babies actually start to remember things from when they're a kid. Sometimes in full length, sometimes in just fragments. And in Ray's case, he's actually one of those rare cases where Ray actually remembers a lot of things as his childhood, even as a fetus. He remembers being in a test tube. He remembers seeing demons. He remembers that the demon sends kids to their homes 5 at a time. Not too many or too little, just 5 group. He remembers the what the mothers look like and the nurses there and stuff like that. And he was saying, because I got this in memory, it doesn't want to leave. That's how I know about it. And he confronted Isabel, and eventually that causes issues, and then he made a contract with her to be her dog to spy on the others, which we knew that was a lie, and he would just use it as an excuse to always ask for a reward. Every time he asked for a reward, it was actually something electronic. And the reason why he was doing this is because he wanted to make like a stun gun. Not a gun, but it was like a taser. And the taser, it's actually meant for you to put it in your ear and pop off the machine. Of course, your ear's gonna be burnt because of that, but it won't be too much damage to your ear where you can still hear, but it could damage the machine. So go Ray. Tell you, Ray is super smart, but yeah, he explained that to them and stuff like that night, and they also talk about the plan about how he's going to use that machine to break his ear thing and use the leftover rope that is going to be made by Dawn and Gayla to, go over and hide and stuff like that, and they'll bring him food or whatever he needs and drink. And then the next scene we get is the next morning, or next afternoon, when all the kids are outside playing. And remember, Norman is supposed to do this plan, and he tries it, but when he actually gets to the top of the wall and he looks, they don't get to show us what he sees, but his facial expression looks like somebody just took his soul. And he went back, and they were all upset. And he was like, "What is he doing?" And later on that night, they confronted him, and they was like, "Dude, what are you doing? You were supposed to break your machine, and you were supposed to use the machine to break your tracker and your ear, and then leave, or at least wait for us up there, and we bring you stuff. Like, what's going on?" And he was like, "Guys, there's a cliff over that wall. We can't escape." And that's basically was the end of the episode. And it was like, they were shocked because we get to see what the cliff looked like. After, he told them what he saw, then we get to see what he saw in that scene again. And the cliff is a really big cliff. It's like, they can't just jump over. They would actually need like more rope and like a traveling line to travel down or across. So, a very steep area, very, very steep. Very deadly too. And again, that was the end of the episode, and I was like, wow, after all this planning and thinking and stuff all like that, the wall is not the only obstacle. The fact is, there's actually a cliff surrounding the whole area. So no matter which section of the farm you're in, even if you climb the wall, you can't escape because the whole thing is surrounded on a cliff. So it's like, think about it like a pillar. I guess I'm going to use the sword as an example. Think about like this right here, this part of the sword. It's being like where the house is at, and everything around it is nothing holding it. It's just emptiness is just there on the cliff, on the edge. And you have to actually zip line over to escape. So that's gonna be intense because they need actually more equipment to do it. To do that, especially with the group of kids that they have, because you got 5 older kids: Elma, Ray, Don, Gayla, and Norman. You got the 5 elders, and then you got all the little kids that want to take with them. That's a lot of people. So you're gonna need a lot of strong rope and zip line to get across from their side to the other. Not to mention, even if some magical way they do get to the other side, there's a big ass forest full of demons and monster type demons and all the other stuff there. So it's gonna be very difficult for the kids to get over. And I'm like, wow. When you think things are easy and about to get better, in this anime they don't. They actually get worse. And again, we haven't seen what the pen, or it looks like a pen in a box, but when you get to see those 2 things that Mother Chrome wrapped up and left in Norman's drawer, we get to see them in this episode because he's looking through there for something, but we didn't get to really see what's in them. So, but that was the end of the episode. We also got a new ending, which was weird. I wasn't expecting that. It's the same band that did the last ending for us for the last 8 episodes that we had. It's the same band. There's a band. I don't know how to pronounce their name, but they're the band that did I believe, the opening and the ending for the Tokyo Ghoul. Hey guys, it was a good episode. Loved the new ending. Everything was great about it. Can't wait for next week. Next week's gonna be a very intense episode. Regardless if Norman leaves or stays, whatever happens, it's gonna be real good and intense. But that's all I have for you guys. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Share with your family and friends. Don't forget to hit that like button. Also hit the notification button so you can get notified whenever I post an upload. Tell me down below what you liked about the episode and what you didn't like about the episode. Also, if you have not watched it, I advise you to go watch it. If you already watched it, go watch it again. Really great episode. I'm loving The Promised Neverland. It's sad we only have 3 episodes left until it's done, and then we have to wait until we get a season 2 if we get one. Hopefully we do. Hopefully they won't slap us that, oh, go read the manga to continue, and then it's like, oh, come on. But really great stuff. Really great episode. Can't wait for next week. But that's all I have for you guys. Peace out and have a good one.